tongues in this book was not ecstatic, was not incoherent, was not unintelligible, right? It was not glossolalia, as Frederick Farrell argued in 1899, who actually brought that word into the church. No. And it's as a result of what we are to encourage ourselves not to do, rather, by bringing some ideology, some theory into the text, and then imposing those theory into the text, right? Glossolalia is not the idea of the church. It was the idea of some German scholars enforced on this text, right? So how do I argue, or what do I mean when I say this, the tongue here are not ecstatic, unintelligible, are not, in quote, glossolalia? Let me argue from the integrity of the writer, who was a missionary, an apostle for that matter, Apostle Paul, right? Apostle Paul wrote this letter before Luke wrote the book of Acts. Logically, you expect those two writers who wrote about the same thing, use the same word to mean the same thing. What do I mean? The same word glossa that Paul used all through these three chapters was the same that Luke used in the same context, right? The context of it being of the same nature. So when we look at it from the natural context now, Luke, who gave us the account of what happened in the early days of the church, and Paul, who was correcting an error in the church, or a set of errors in the church, and mentioned this gift. And right now, I'm assuming that the gift of tongue was present in the church of Corinth at the time of Paul's writing of this letter. If we agree on that, if we flow from there, then you don't expect the first recipient to manifest a certain gift in a certain nature and then come to the church of Corinth and assume that Paul was correcting something else in the name of the same gift. No. Luke was a travel companion with Paul. So Luke would not call glossa human languages, non-human languages, and Paul will now say something else. No, I don't see any valid argument that supports that, and I don't think the Bible is saying that as well. What the Bible is saying, the same phenomenon, the same nature of gift that was given on the day of Pentecost, right, is in the church of Corinth, and Paul is correcting an abuse in the church.